Good morning, shining ones. Meg is here on a beautiful day in Asha. Oh, I'm feeling so good right now. We're going to be in Asha 1, and I saw it today like I've never seen it before. And can I share something with you? I want to bring you to this place of Vohumana, the God mind, the Christ mind, where you and God are one, you and your peace, your protection, your provision. You are experiencing it. You become it. And this morning, as I was putting this message together with my spirit guides, now I want you to think about this. I am so beyond blessed that I can hear from God, from my spirit guides so clearly. And, I've shared a lot of my stories with you guys yesterday in yesterday's video. And even to the point of like the story of when I was pulling out of my parking spot at the grocery store, my spirit guide said, stop, put it in park, turn off the key. And, my spirit guide actually said, you don't want to ruin your perfect day you're having. And a car sped right behind me, was trying to get hit. And then he went down to the next row and was playing that scheme, looking for reverse lights. And 30 seconds later, got hit by another car, gets out holding his neck. My spirit guide, I can hear so clear. I get these visions of just everyday things, my friends. But I found something, even with all the information and knowledge my spirit guides give me, there's only so much my brain can hold. I still feel this longing. I need more information, right? I need more understanding. Why did God make the world, right? Why are we here on earth? And they can give me the exact reasons, but it still doesn't satisfy just my human brain. It's got to go deeper. And I've discovered when I just get into that presence of Asha, in that meditative state, where I'm attuning myself to truth, to Asha, to God, to good, to love, to peace, to joy, to that Vohumana, that mind that sees and knows all, then my heart is satisfied. And I think sometimes we're trying to use maybe our five senses to understand it all, but you can't do it that way. You have to go to spirit to find that satisfaction you're looking for. And so before we even get to Asha 1, I want to share Asha 3 with you, because Spirit took me to Asha 3. It said, my only job. See, I love the simplicity. There was a time in my life I was driving myself crazy, chasing, trying to be able to grasp, especially when you want to teach it, so that I can explain it to others. Spirit brought me to this simple message. My one job, my only job, is to align with and hold continuously in mind. This is that 24/7 prayer that you become the attributes of God. So my one job is to hold the attributes of God: love, life, peace, joy, power, freedom, and to be those attributes. Remember, to know, to be, you got to be God. You have to be the love, be the peace, be the joy. That's your one job. And all the masters talked about that. Zarathustra, I who am attuning myself to Mazda. Jesus said, verily, verily, I say unto you, he who holds my word has God life. You got to hold that frequency of Asha. Like again, the Christ said, Vohumana is the Christ mind, where that you and God are one, is the message, is the word. Be that, my friends, at a spirit level. That's what I want to get deeper into, but I wanted to touch on that first, so that you're attuning with your heart, with that Vohumana, with spirit, because that's where the satisfaction comes. So, real quick, yesterday I showed my book, how it's falling apart and how much I love it. And we sold so many books yesterday. That wasn't my intention, but I'm so glad. And for those of you that bought it, please go and leave a review there at Amazon. It moves us up again in that algorithm, and we sell even more books getting this message to the world. And we have become in the West here, the Order of the Magi, the place to come for Zoroastrianism, which I feel so honored. I think that's why we're so blessed, why the Magi that we are and shall be are with us so strong, why I can hear from our spirit guides so clearly, because we're pretty much the only ones here in the West that I know of that are doing what we're doing. My friends, coming every day with this message of Asha and truth, and we have so much power backing us up. I'm blown away, my friends, every day by how blessed we are. So Asha 1, I love it. It says, Asha, I am God's thought. I live in God's idea. Perfection. Right out of the gate, we're coming hard, man. Maybe even if you don't feel that yet, you can't quite wrap your brain around it. Something in your spirit knows I come from good spirit. I'm made of good spirit. I'm God's stuff. Then I love the teaching. It says the whole universe vibrates with expectant energy, for God is with child. And all throughout the celestial palace, the prospect of ever expanding good. Ever expanding good. That's the evolution that takes place, my friends. In truth, the reality, the real above all real, the capital T truth, Asha, the perfect creator's perfect idea, the only thing that could come from his perfect mind is just good and peace and protection. That's our foundation. Then there's still an evolution that gets gooder and gooder, godder and godder, more beautiful, more brilliant, more bright. God evolves. Let that blow your mind. God's already perfect. Yes, I agree, because I know people are thinking that, Magus, God's already perfect. I know, but he gets perfecter, gooder, godder, better, more beautiful, more brighter. My friends, it's a beautiful evolution that we are a part of. What a beautiful evolution. And you know what? I think that's why when you think of heaven, you never get bored, because there's always it's an endless horizon, my friends. That's the excitement of it. You're like thinking, what can we make and do and create next? This is so beautiful. Oh my God. And now we can build on that. I got a lot of ideas. I like this. The highest principle of good shines the light of observance on the dark waves, the plastic medium of creation. And in conformity to law, it's by law, it has to happen. The wise Lord's highest desires focused into form, young, timeless, beneficial to all. My friends, where we put our focus, our observation, we bring our life to it. We bring our godness to it. Now, I was asking my spirit guides this morning about this. How can we be the perfect creator's perfect idea, the thought of God? How can we be the thought of God? How can we be the children of God? How can we be God itself? That's three things. And here's my brain starting to smoke as I was asking this morning for clarity. And Spirit told me, we're trying to bring it into one thing. When you think of like a prism, and the light hits it, and then there's multiple lights that come out of it. Now get this, in the spirit realm, there's even more colors that come out of that. So here, we think of light hitting a prism and we have the rainbow. In spirit, my friends, there's colors you haven't even imagined yet, my friends. And so Spirit was showing me that we are, yes, we are God itself, the very source of God itself, the very 0 point that we've been talking about, right? When you bring it all the way back to that 0 point, that God, you are a part of that, right? So it's like the sun, right? The sun is God, and then the sun sends out all these rays. You're one of the rays. You're still part of the sun, but you're your individual ray. I'm sure you've heard the ocean, right? You're the drop in the ocean and the drop. It's the same thing. Are the different waves on the ocean? It's an individualized thing, but it's still part of the ocean. So you are the thought of God, like the artist that has this beautiful idea of what he wants to create, and it comes from him, and it is him, and he puts his very soul and life into it. I know all about that, my friends. I always say, if you see this little orange book, you see the Magus, right? I think of Jesus. If you've seen me, you've seen the loving Father. We're his perfect thought and idea. We're his child, and we are him. We are that. It's a force of love. We get in the wrong idea of thinking of God as a guy in the sky, right? We want to turn God, that force of perfect perfection and bliss and love and eternity, we want to turn it into one human that floats on a cloud, right? It's so much more than that. It's every beautiful good thing. So then I was asking my spirit guide about this. So in yesterday's video, we're really hitting on a truth. You are God. And then yesterday at the grocery store, same grocery store where I had a lot of the miracles I've shared with you, like where Spirit gave me the open vision of the checker, and then the other checker came up and wanted to switch places, but the checker stayed. And before I went to the grocery store, I saw the whole thing play out. Then I got to the grocery store and it plays out, right? I get these glimpses of the future, which is a whole nother subject of how time and space works, how my consciousness was able to go forward in time, an hour, and see exactly, and then watch it unfold. And I've seen this in so many things, a whole different conversation. But at that same grocery store yesterday, my mind was on so many things. I left my wallet in the car. Didn't hear my spirit guide saying, Magus, hey man, you left your wallet in the truck. I'm in there, full cart, checking out, total me out, reach for my wallet. Oh my God, it's in the truck. Now I'm looking at the long line of people behind me. I got to run to the truck and get my wallet, and all that goes along with it, the embarrassment, the come on, Magus, you're better than this. And then I had to chuckle because I'm thinking, after my message that morning, apparently God forgets his wallet in the truck and holds up the line at the grocery store also. I was telling all the amazing things the God in me does, and Spirit was just showing me, we knew when we came to time and space, into this incarnation, we talked about this in our holy text. It says we saw our lifeline from beginning to end, and we were warned, you're going to be born into a body, into a world where there's hate and anger, and even in your own genes and DNA, in your own body, passed from grandparents and parents, will be sins and errors, forgetfulness, lust, anger issues, we saw it, and we still chose to come. And Spirit was giving me just this peace, that this is the beauty of it. This is that mingling of heaven and earth, the divine and the human, the God in the human form that's still a work in progress, my friends. And so don't beat yourself up when you do just the stupidest things. You're still God. You're still that ray of God. You're still the child he's so proud of. My friends, and that divine spark inside of you is perfect perfection. Asha, I'm God's thought. I'm his perfect idea. The only thing that could come from his perfect mind, even though sometimes in his human form, you have to look really deep to see my perfect perfection. But that's who I am. That's my identity. I'm not the sins and errors passed in my genes and errors. I'm not my mistakes I make. So this morning, as I'm having all these things and questions rushing to my head, and I've got these most patient, loving spirit guides telling me all the truths of how it all began. And I'm still having this confusion, whys, but what about? And then Spirit took me here to my sanctuary. I light a candle, I play some music, and I set down all the thoughts and the stories and the worries and the embarrassments. And I go inside. And I see God. I feel God. I know God. In this place, I am God. And all the confusion's gone and the peace floods in and the love. And I can hear the loving Father. You're doing good, Magus. I love you. And all my questions just go away. I hear Spirit telling me, Asha 3, you only have one job. It's easier than you're making it out to be. Just attune yourself. Be the love and be the peace. Be the joy and be the smile and the kind word. And it'll all work out. You only got one job. It's easier than you're thinking. Be easy on yourself. Be patient with yourself. Love others. Love your brothers and sisters, those other waves on the ocean that have forgotten who they are. You just keep shining bright. It reminds them, helps them remember what's real, who God is, who they are. Love. You know, Asha 1 talks about us creating on the dark waves. Even in the chaos, we put our focus and our intention with our frequency and our energy that is our love and our Asha and our truth and our peace and our joy and our smile. We're creating a good world, the true world, a beautiful world, the loving world. You feel the peace. You feel the truth, the Asha, the love. No judgment. In my mind's eye, I'm seeing Spirit's eye looking on you with so much love, so proud. Close your eye. Can you see it? Can you feel? Can you reach out and touch it with spirit to spirit? All is happening right on time. You're doing beautiful. You know, it's okay to laugh sometimes. My God, I laugh at myself all the time. I have to. It's one of those laugh or cries. I've chosen to find it funny. It works for me. This life is a gift. This life is beautiful. Today, find something beautiful. A flower. And just take the time to really stop and look at the color, the smells, and look at the blue sky and the clouds, and breathe the air. Take a moment to feel love. Take a moment to go in to your heart of hearts and say, I love you, God. Take a moment to love yourself, to be patient with yourself, kind with yourself, Forgive yourself, laugh at yourself. I love you. Asha is